All right, welcome back. Utah family YouTuber Ruby Franke appeared in court today for a scheduled mediation hearing concerning her children. Franke and her business partner, Jody Hildebrand, face child abuse charges for allegedly abusing and starving Franke's two young children. The charges were filed after Franke's 12-year-old son escaped Hildebrand's home and asked a neighbor to call 911. Police say the child had open wounds from being tied up and duct taped on his wrists and ankles. Police also found Franke's malnourished 10-year-old daughter was at Hildebrand's home as well. The Franke family had previously come under fire for strict parenting decisions on their now defunct YouTube channel called 8 Passengers. YouTube removed the channel from their platform earlier this year. Now, during the run of Franke's YouTube channel 8 Passengers, viewers expressed concerns multiple times about the parenting that was being displayed on that channel. How was this able to go on for so long? In some of Franke's videos, she described some of her disciplining practices towards her children, and in one video saying she would not feed her kids breakfast until their chores were finished. What are your thoughts on this? We at the Law&Crime Network definitely want to know. How important is it for her to now face these charges that have been allegedly occurring during the run of the YouTube channel? I asked that question to our guests that are here. Afi, let me start with you. Is this another situation? I mean, people are seeing this, people are listening to what she's saying, crimes being committed in plain sight. How does this happen?
Yeah, I think there were always hints or suggestions that something was had run afoul, but I don't think she had ever overtly expressed anything. But I have questions. Is there a mental health issue going on with her? I wonder what was going on with the husband and what did he know prior to their separation? Was there any type of influence going on with her business partner? Because I understand her business partner has also been charged. But those are so many questions that I have. But yeah, I do appreciate the fact that the people that were tuning into the channel were aware and alert that something was going on with those children.
You know, Oscar, when I was the prosecutor, it was funny because the social media started picking up and things of that nature, and it never ceased to amaze us how people were posting things on social media platforms where we were like, thank you very much for that. Those typically involved organized criminal activity, gang activity, things of that nature. But here you have all measures and sorts of people recording stuff that they're doing that's illegal. What do you make of this case?
Yeah, I agree with Afi that she seems to be suffering under delusion, some mental health, illness, to say that she's openly discussing, withholding food from her child and engaging in these behaviors. And, I think it is people wanting to be of the moment. And, a lot of these channels find like-minded people. There's a lot of content out there, and people then tend to gravitate towards people who might think this behavior is fine. So maybe some of us are shocked by it, but maybe there are other parents out there who think this is the right way to raise your child. And I'm glad that she's validating, some of the insanity I'm doing in my own home. So, I think that's a large aspect of it. You find that on social media. I'm sure you see that, where groups tend to find content that answers to them, that responds to them, where other people look at it and say, how is that even possible that you would put that out publicly?
Now, Afi, one of the things that we would do as prosecutors when we would fall upon something like this is that you have to take this evidence, especially electronic evidence, social media evidence, very carefully, because there are a lot of people who pose to do things and say there's certain things and say there's certain people that they're not. But that's going to be a hard row for her. You tell me if it's not, considering how the child was or the children were discovered by law enforcement authorities.
So it's all about corroborating evidence. So if she says one thing, how are we going to corroborate that? When we go into the house, what do we find? Again, the husband is going to have to, well, he may have to testify, but they're going to get information from him. He's going to have to tell what he knew, what he saw. And then the older children, they are going to have, I think, pretty reliable accounts, pretty reliable testimony. So I don't think it's going to be a big issue to match up what she said online to probably the absolute worst conditions that were actually happening in the home.
Oscar, very quick, I got about 10 seconds. What do you think the fate of this woman is going to be with respect to her children?
It's a tough road to hoe. I think she's going to be found guilty from what I can see so far, but we have to hear all the evidence.
All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate that. Oscar, I know that you have to go. That's too bad. You're always doing a great job here for us at the Law and Crime Network. But Afi is going to be staying with us. We're going to have a new guest. So please don't go anywhere. We're going to be coming back with more coverage here at the Law and Crime Network on the other end of the break. Be with us.